Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez Williams. No estaba, it wasn't starting. It wasn't starting. Christina Martinez Williams. I don't even know who I am. Christina Martinez Williams. Christina's World Kitchen. I'm all confused, speaking Spanish, doing all the things. Okay. I'm going to make I know that it's early, but I am going to leave in 2 hours to start driving to Clearwater, Florida. If you live near Clearwater, Florida, put me in the comments. I might be able to say hi to you when you're there. And, when I'm there, you're there already. I'm going to make some snacks for myself. So I'm going to make these chocolate seed bars. They're full of protein, they're full of nutrients, and they're satiating with healthy fat. So they're going to be perfect for my trip. And I am going... And Soraya's just made herself some guacamole and is eating them with pork rinds. Okay, so we're gonna start with one beaten egg. If you like granola bars, like not crispy, but not super soft, this is in between crunchy and soft. And it is like a granola bar, but it doesn't have all the extra sugar and gluten and carbs that are in granola bars, which are so full of, I used to eat those like nothing else. Like that's what I would use for snacks when I was hiking or when I was before I was working out. But they are not the best option for your health. And I never knew that until I started eating this way. So if you like them, put like them in the comments. These ones are chocolate and they are really good. And we're gonna bake them. So I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. And I have one beaten egg, a quarter cup of, this is monk fruit. I'm out of my allulose monk fruit right now. And 2 tablespoons of melted butter. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm gonna just make sure I get all of that healthy goodness out. And then I'm gonna start to whisk this part together so that it is nice and creamy.
Nice and creamy.
There's her guacamole. She put some lime in it, some pink salt, some pepper, some onion powder. We don't have any garlic powder at the moment. Cuando vayan a Aldi and it está bien. Okay. Huh? Yes. So that is beaten. Now we're going to add to it, but we're going to not use the whisk anymore because everything else is dry. So we're going to now add our flax seeds, which is a quarter cup of flax seeds. Quarter cup of flax seeds. Tell me where you're watching from. We are making chocolate seed bars. Quarter cup of flax seeds. She's going to mix that all well in. Get that combined. And then we're going to add our cacao powder. We have a quarter cup of cacao powder. Okay. Quarter cup of cacao. And then we have, she'll mix that in. If you live near Clearwater, Florida, put me in the comments. I would love to connect. We are driving there from Fort Washington, Maryland, starting in 2 hours. All right, so these are chocolatey. You can use, if you want them to be less dark chocolatey, you can add more sweetener.
Well, it's getting thick.
It's getting thick.
We gotta get the edges.
Yeah, we gotta get the edges. We've got 2 more ingredients. Okay, you ready? So now we're gonna put 6 tablespoons of almond flour.
We're gonna make it more thick.
Yep. It's gonna get even more thick, but we're gonna do the chia seeds last because those are gonna start to expand and make it even more thick. Okay. 6 tablespoons of almond flour. This is where you're gonna have to start to like push and press. Push and pull, push and press. Because it is now getting to be a thick mixture. It all mixes in. It looks like it won't initially, but it does. Yep. And now all we're going to do...
She's going to Florida for an event.
Yeah, I'm going for an event. An event about ketones. All right, this is quarter cup of chia seeds.
This is what we're using.
We're gonna use a special mold. This is a mold that you can use to make sushi or musubi, but we're gonna use it to make granola bars. You don't have to have a mold. If you don't have one, it's okay. If you have one, put have one in the comments. If you don't have one, put don't have one. It's okay if you don't have one. You can just use your spatula to create it, to create the bars. All right, this is almost mixed. And with the chia seeds, you just want to get them all pressed in and kind of moved around so that they're not just in a clump or just in the top. You want them to be in all the parts. This is a sticky mixture. So we're going to get a little bit of water on our mold, on the inside of our mold. Yeah, on this side of our mold. No? I will get a little, oh, I see some water. All right. Right here. I have some water right here. Okay, now this is, I'll show you what it looks like. It's just a big clump, and that means it's so like full of nutrients and satiating, and even protein, because it has, the seeds have protein in them, and the almond flour. All right, now we're gonna just, I'm gonna have this be a little bit of water, so that the sides of this or the insides of this can have some water on them, so that it, so that Zaraya's phone does not get the water all over it. Okay, so we have this, and we're going to put some inside of it and see, it may stick, you might, we're gonna find out. So I have a silicone mat on this, on top of this baking sheet, and I have a, I want to get not so much that there's, it's not gonna be like overly thick, they're gonna be like this thick. So you just gotta work with the first one to kind of figure out how much to put in there, because we're gonna push it through. This first one usually is like too thick. So I'm gonna take out a little bit, and then we'll be able to do this first one and push it off of the sides so that it's not, we're getting an even amount. Okay, so now all I need to do is push this down and flatten it. And then as I flatten it, I can push this up, and it stays a little bit in there, but this is pushed down quite a bit on one side, which is fine. These are gonna bake, so you're gonna be like flipping them, and it does come off and doesn't leave a whole lot. So you can see, I'll show you in a second. This is where you could just use your hands or a spatula, and it doesn't have to be in a mold, but the mold is just makes it easy, and you can kind of clean up the sides with the mold pusher. You can see on this side, this side is a little bit less or a little bit taller, but there is the first seed bar. So we have probably enough for like probably 3 or 4 with this amount. This is, yeah, probably at least that. I mean, not at least that, probably 3, 2 or 3. For sure 2, maybe 4, I don't know, 3 or 4. It just depends on how thick you have it, and you do want it to be not overly thick because you want it to be able to cook and bake together. And then you'll have it ready to go. And when you take them off, so you're gonna bake them for 10 minutes on each side. You're gonna flip them after 10 minutes. And then you just want them to be, they're gonna look dark because they're dark. So it's gonna be a little bit hard to tell, but you'll be able to tell they'll change a little bit of color. They'll get darker, and they won't be burnt. It might look like they're burnt because they're extra dark already, but they won't be burnt. So now it sticks to my finger a lot more than it sticks to the mold. So the mold is helpful, but not necessary. This is a musubi mold, which is like a sushi type Hawaiians use this a lot with like spam musubi. And this one's a lot, a lot taller. So I might actually squish this one down a bit to make it a little bit flatter because I want it to cook somewhat similar. And then that will be, in terms of like how thick they are, they'll cook, I want them to cook at a similar time and not have to keep checking or make sure that they're good. So this one actually had more in it than this one did. Maybe I can push this one down a little bit too. And make it a little bit wider, a little bit thinner. And there you go. We've got two. These are pretty big bars. And then I have, oh yeah, I have two more for sure. So that is it. That's how you make them. I'm gonna do those. You don't have to watch me do those. From my house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world.